Hi guys. Yesterday we talked about the parts of a plant and we planted beans in containers, baggy and in some kind of a clear cup. Today I just want to review with you real quickly about the parts of our flowers. Now, or any kind of a plant. You start out with the flower, the leaves, stems, and roots. And if you remember our song from yesterday, I will stand up and we will sing together. I'll start pointing out the parts of the plant on our picture, and then we will sing it together using the parts of our body. Alrighty, it goes flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. All it takes is sun, soil, and water. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. All it takes is sun, soil, and water. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. All it takes is sun, soil, and water. Flowers, leaves, stems and roots, stems and roots. Now you see Mrs. Stein gets all mixed up. I need you to help me. Anyway, so now that we've sung our song, Mrs. Everhart has gotten together a craft, and I have it attached to this email that I'm sending out, and she shows you how you can make your own flower and helping to make you learn or help you learn that a flower is made of a flower, a stem, leaves, and roots. Now, we're going to move, we're not just going to really talk about beans today like we did yesterday. We're going to talk about all sorts of plants. Now, I think I'm going to have to stand up and come back here a little bit. I made up a chart because we eat plants. We eat meat, we drink milk, water, but also we eat things that come from plants. Now, they come from all parts of a plant. Some things that we eat come from trees, like apples and pears, oranges and peaches. Some things actually grow under the ground, the roots of a plant. Now, usually when we think of a flower, we think of the roots, that they're just there to hold a tree up or soak in the water. Well, some roots do that, but we also use them for food, like carrots, radishes, beets, potatoes, and onions. Some things grow on top of the ground on vines, like pumpkins, like I have drawn here when we make our jack-o'-lanterns, zucchini, strawberries, tomatoes, and beans. All of those things and a lot of other foods you might think of grow on vines too. And then there are actually plants that grow on top of the ground, like lettuce or spinach, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. Well, today we are going to actually, let me put this down right here, bring my chair back around. We are actually going to plant some of these vegetables. Now, let me pull this over here. I brought home, before we were told we weren't supposed to come back to school, I brought home one of my viewing containers, if I can do this without the glare here. It's just a box, and it has a clear front so that you can see what is beginning to happen under the dirt, kind of like what we planted yesterday. Now, in my viewing container, I am going to plant radishes. I am going to plant beets. See if you can see these. And I am going to plant carrots. I'm going to have to pick that up because it dropped. Sorry about that, friends. But we are going to plant carrots. Now, what's really amazing, now I was going to plant some beans in here, but then I thought, it's kind of silly because we've already got beans growing over there. So when I went to the grocery store, I did not buy any radishes, but radishes are fun to watch grow. But I did buy, even though I have the radish seeds, I'm going to show you before I show you my other plants. It's kind of hard to show you this right here. I have a seed of a radish. Now, in a minute, I will pick up my phone and I'll show you all of these things, but a radish seed is very small. I don't know if you can see that in my hand or not. A little bit bigger of a seed is a beet. Now, this one's a little bit easier for me to hold. And you can see it a little bit better. But that little teeny tiny seed grows into a beet. Now, when I'm trying to decide which one I want to show you, I'll go show you the seeds first, and then I'll show you what they really turn into. Now, what I think is amazing is a carrot. Now, I have to actually, because it is so teeny tiny, where is it? That teeny tiny seed will actually grow into, if I can pull this up without knocking everything off, carrots. Now, let me pull my seed back up. Look at this. Can you imagine that little teeny tiny seed swells up and produces roots, and one root actually turns into this long, what they call a taproot, and produces the leaves and the stems until it's time to pick them. And then you eat them. Isn't that amazing? Something so tiny can grow into that. Also, the other thing I was going to show you a moment ago is a beet. Now, the beet seeds, as I said, were a little bit larger. See if you can see this right there. That little beet seed, again, it gets water, it germinates, it swells, it produces roots, produces, after a while, the one big tap root, which is the part that you eat. Here are the stems and the leaves. And do you know people also eat the leaves of a beet? I love beets. My children are not so fond of them, but I do love them. Well, real quickly, I'm going to show you. Now, I have taken my viewing container, and I have already planted some things in there, but I wanted you to see. Over on this side, I have my carrots. I went from small, medium, to large seeds. Now, I'm going to take my skewer that I have, and I am going to poke a little hole down in here, just like we did in our jar yesterday. And I am going to take a carrot seed. Now, one thing you need to know when you plant vegetables, in each hole, you only plant one seed. I think that went down in there. Because as plants grow, they need all the nourishment that they can get in their own space. I think that went down in there. I'm going to cover them up. Now, I'm also going to do that with one radish seed. And then I'll do it over here with one beet seed. Now, I'll go back later on. We would normally do this in small group. I'm not going to bore you by doing it all right now. But then what you're going to need to do is you, oh my goodness, I've got such a glare over here. You are going to water your vegetables, and we are going to watch it. I'll set it up a little bit better. You can already see some of the water going down in, but I will plant the rest of my seeds and I will put it over in my sunlight, and we will be able to watch again what's going to happen with our seeds. And it's really quite amazing how quickly some of these things begin to grow. Now, I have one more thing that we're going to do, but it's so that I don't run out of time on my video, I'm going to turn it off, and then we are going to get together another one, and then you'll be able to watch that. Okay, so I'll be back in just a minute.